What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another Raw review talk thing, majigger. Uh, Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're gonna just get right into it. Of course, as always, I have some of my handy dandy notebook on it, and we're gonna talk about Raw, guys. All in all, Raw was a decent show. It was, every week, obviously, the bar is here. Well, the bar is like down here. So anything that's even remotely okay is like, all right, man, Raw was not that bad. Um, so Raw normally, the reason why people normally don't like Raw is because Raw normally is like Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley or whoever will come out. They'll cut like a 9,000 year promo, and then they'll get into a match that's like maybe 5-10 minutes long, and then they go back, and then they'll do more promos and then more promos and more promos, and then they'll do another match that's like another 7 minutes long, and then 25 more promos and stuff like that. So this time it didn't happen. I think the pacing of Raw tonight was good. They boom started out straight with a match. It was the women's match. Boom, started out with a match. Match happened. It was what it was. Went backstage. Maybe few very short segments. Boom, match. Then after that, one little segment. Boom, another match. Then after that, another match, and then a segment or two. Boom. So it was like, so there was more wrestling on the show. There wasn't a lot of I don't even think there was like a in-ring. I don't really like, if I'm not mistaken, I honestly don't think there was an in-ring segment. Like I don't think there was like no Miss TV, there was like no uh none of that. I think everything was literally like backstage, like besides the one little during the women's match. I'll talk about it in a little later, but like Alexa Bliss came out or something like that, but she didn't really like she didn't cut like a promo or anything. It was just like, I think literally every segment was backstage. If I'm not mistaken, I don't really think there was any. Oh, Sheamus did a he did a promo before his match, but even that wasn't horrible. It was, Sheamus is great, so even that wasn't bad. I think that might have been like the only actual promo inside the ring, and they normally have like 100 of them. So for that, if they do the template with that, like moving forward, especially after like WrestleMania Backlash, like they get what they have to do with WrestleMania Backlash, and they start this new format and start new feuds and stuff like that, uh, and they actually keep interesting things going on from here on out. I think Raw can, even the 3 hour Raw could be decent. There was, of course, obviously still some things that are just still, it's still a 3 hour show, but I think this went better with the matches because we are here to watch wrestling. We're not, we like storylines and stuff, but we like wrestling, and if the matches are interesting, it good things happen. First, we're going to talk about the unfortunate thing about about the show, which was the Humberto versus Sheamus thing, where the match was, the match was getting good. Sheamus, of course, comes out and pretty much said that Adam Pearce, pretty much told him about, you won a United States champion, so you should do an open challenge, be the fighting champion like others before you, which I'm assuming he really just meant John Cena. And Sheamus was like, why? For what reason? He was like, they're all ancient history. I carved my own legacy. He's like, if you want a shot at the United States champion, you got to earn this shot. Like, what are you talking about? And then he kind of jabbed at the new guy at the announce table. He was like, even this guy out here, way out of his element because of how bad he's been doing on commentary. He was like, "What, you gonna give him a United States Championship shot too?" Like, no, Humberto Carrillo. He's like, "You want this shot, you gotta earn it." And then they had the match. The match was like, it was getting really good. Like, to be honest, like it was really, really getting good. Sheamus was taking him out. He was throwing him all over the place. And Humberto was getting his little comeback. You know, was getting good. He was doing drop kicks. He was flying all over the place. And then he unfortunately went to go for like a power bomb thing, like over the rope power bomb. And then when he did it, Sheamus like landed like straight on his leg, and that's a lot. That's like 265 pounds. Boom, square straight on a cruiserweight on a 205 or less pound Dalegas, and messed up his whole leg. They award the match to Sheamus. So I'm not really gonna grade it. It's unfortunate it happens. Things happen in wrestling, and that was one of the unfortunate things that it happened. But hopefully Humberto will be okay, and they can still continue because I like Humberto. Like he kind of just I just think he needs a character, but I honestly I do like him. His wrestling's not horrible. Maybe he needs to get with his brother, Angel Garza. Maybe they could be a tag team. So a couple little things that happened throughout the show, like little small minor stories that are going out, which again is something that I like. You got everything is not always you got your main event stuff, but you still got little mini few things that goes on. You have Angel Garza and my boy Drew Gulak. Last week, Angel Garza stuck a rose up Drew Gulak's butt. He's doing photo shoots, and then Drew Gulak was like, hey, "You think this is a joke? Like, you think what we're doing? Like, this is a wrestling business. And you think this is a joke, embarrassing me doing the thing in my butt?" And he was like, "Yeah. So what's your point?" He was like, "My point is like you embarrassed me." He was like, "Hey, next time I put it down your throat." In which again, if this was any other week, this would they would have a rematch because remember last week he stuck it up his butt. Now this week he wants revenge and he's gonna have another match. So at least I'm glad they're not doing that again. So give it a couple more, let the story build a little bit. At least next week, Angel Garza has something going on with Somalia. Maybe they have a match and then maybe Drew interferes, takes out Angel Garza, and then another week something will happen between the two before it finally builds up till they have that rematch, which hopefully I hope they do. I mean they could either probably just do another match next week, but because of course you need their 50-50 booking, but I just hope and pray that at least they give them longer than 3 minutes than they did, especially if they're going to continue the feud. At least also if they're going to continue the feud, at least give them 10-15 minutes. It's a 3-hour show. You can give them 10-15 minutes. Another little side thing which I find great is Shelton Benjamin and Primetime Alexander. Fantastic. This match was maybe 10 minutes of that, but this was some good stuff in the little time slot they had. Alexander got his old theme back, which I kind of missed. And Sean got his one old theme back, but not his old that ain't no stopping me. No, they need to bring that back. That's a fantastic theme song. But yeah, this match was good because of course they were tag team partners, so they know each other. Shelton Benjamin's whole thing is, Alexander's thing is, I'm young, I'm prime, I'm in my element. You're old, washed up has been, who can't, you can't hang with me anymore. And Shelton Benjamin's like, hey, you learned under me. Like I taught you everything I know, but I taught you everything you need to know, but I still got a few tricks up my sleeve. And he had some few tricks up his sleeve. This was basically pretty much all Alexander talking trash, being fantastic. Shelton Benjamin going for pay dirt. And Alexander, escaping it twice. He was like, nah, I know you using that old skanking move, that pay dirt. That skank, we'll get to that later. He was like, yeah, and he was just beating him up, just taking him out. Suicide dives, boom. I think he hit him with like a neuralizer. He's talking all that trash. Instead of going for the pin, out of nowhere, Shelton Benjamin is like, one more trick up my sleeve. He went old school, hit the T-bone suplex to get the 1, 2, 3. Shelton Benjamin beats Alexander. This was great. The little sprint that they had was fantastic. Like primetime Alexander, showing aggression, being all talking trash and all that stuff. And then Benjamin's like, hey, okay, you got paid dirt. Guess what? I got another trick up my sleeve that I haven't pulled out, and he hasn't pulled that move out in a minute. So the T-bone suplex was great. Good pop for me. I was like, oh, you get with the T-bone, you brought it back. So now this is like, oh, okay. Now Alexander's like, okay, you got me. You got that one. Okay, you busted out the T-bone. And then this feud is going to continue, and then give him like 15, 20 minutes. Oh, give him like 15, 20 minutes this time. And money. You know what I would like? I think Money in the Bank is next. If they do Money in the Bank next, you could continue to feud in Money in the Bank, put them both in Money in the Bank, and then have it go to SummerSlam. Give them 15 minutes at SummerSlam. Yes. But yeah, that was great stuff. And I think that was all of the. Damian Priest and The Miz. I actually almost forgot about this. Damian Priest and The Miz. Adam Pearce is with Damian Priest. The Miz comes in there with John Morrison. They're like, "What is he doing in here?" It was like, I brought you out here because this feud needs to end, and yes, it does. Damian Priest pretty much was like, "Yo, since I've been here, I've been whooping on YouTube, which has been January, and we're in May." And he pretty much said, I want this to end. I want this match with The Miz. And then Johnny Drip is being great. He was like, hey, only reason why you beat me last week was because of The Miz. It is kind of funny because Damian Priest and like Adam Pearce was like laughing, and The Miz was like, bro, we all can see you, like we all see you pointing at me. And Johnny Morrison was like, oh yeah, no. I mean, I'm just saying, this guy. And he was like, yeah, but that doesn't matter, because I could beat you, whatever. And then Damian Priest was like, hey, how about we make it interesting? He's like, if I win, we do a stipulation. I choose the stipulation, but hey, if Morrison beats me, you guys do a stipulation. And then Miz was like, that sounds absolutely stupid. We accept, says Morrison. Miz is like, okay, yeah, sure, why not, whatever. And then they have the match, and of course, obviously, John Morrison and Damian Priest has a good match. John Morrison's flying over. This one little spot that I think they were like on the top of the turnbuckle. I think he tried to do like a flippy thing off the turnbuckle, but he kind of didn't land on his feet. Damian Priest just knocked him back down anyway. The Miz was trying to get him counted out, but when they were at 8, they went on commercial break, which was what it was. And then when they went on the outside, Morrison like distracted him and he kicked him in the face. And then he was saying the floor was slippery. He tried to put the towel on the floor and unslip it. It was great. And then pretty much they did the same thing last week that they did this week. Damian Priest was going to win. They did the roll up thing. The Miz was on the turnbuckle. Was on the apron. He was like, oh snap! He gets back down, only a 2 count, and then he takes him out, and then boom, hit the lights. I almost said the reckoning. Hit the lights on him, and Damian Priest wins again. Miz attacks him, and Damian Priest gets the upper hand, and he was like, I think he hit the lights on Morrison. And then he goes to Adam Pearce and said, I want lumberjack match because, whatever. Raw, SmackDown, zombies, aliens, I don't care. Bring them all out there. And then Damian Priest is going to beat The Miz. And then Miz and Morrison are going to split because of course they are. Because of course we don't need tag teams. Why would we do that? So yeah. So after that we had 3 pretty much story dominated things. We'll get to the least interesting, I guess, which is still not even horrible. All of the women on the women's division are there, and Alexa Bliss, as I said, was out there earlier with Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Charlotte. They was facing off against Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and nope, not Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Dana Brooke, and Mandy Rose. That's what it was. Just kidding. And pretty much Alexa Bliss was like, I got my eye on somebody. That somebody is apparently Charlotte Flair, because last week they said they'd like somebody in red. Charlotte this week was wearing red. They was out there. Shayna Baszler, voodoo, I guess got voodoo, hurt her leg. Asuka picks up the win. Like I said, again though, they started off with a match. So, they start off with a match. It got, I guess, interesting. So I'm assuming maybe Charlotte is... So then after that, Charlotte talks to Sonya Deville. Sonya gets Asuka and Rhea. And pretty much was like, hey, I got a little influence from somebody not named Charlotte Flair, who I'm not going to, it's not Charlotte Flair or anything. And so thought it would be a good idea for you two to, face each other one-on-one before, to get excited for the pay-per-view or whatever like that. And then Rhea was like, really? Like, whatever. Asuka was like, yeah, I already competed, but, do it again. We in it. Do it again. And then, by the way, Charlotte's gear, her little heel outfit thing that she be rocking now, I like it. And then they have a match. It was what it was, unfortunately. I love them both, but just sometimes, it just doesn't work out. This match wasn't horrible, but Charlotte in that triple threat match is going to be great. She comes out for commentary, pretty much just said, yeah, I made the match. Yeah, it was me. I want them to beat each other up. That's pretty much what it was. Charlotte kept distracting both Asuka and Rhea. Rhea hits a cool headbutt on her. When they were outside, Asuka hit a nice running hip attack on the announce table on Rhea. But it still wasn't enough because Rhea Ripley cleanly beats Asuka with the Riptide. And I sort of feel bad for Asuka because it's like she got beat tonight. She's gonna be the one that gets pinned on Sunday, whether it's to Charlotte or it's to Rhea, whichever one. She's the one that's getting pinned. I assume that Rhea's still gonna win anyway. I think that with the Lilly thing, she's gonna distract Charlotte. I guess Charlotte's gonna go on to have her thing against Alexa Bliss and Lilly for whatever reason, which is good to get her away from the title, have her something else to do. But it's also going to be weird because she's going to pin Asuka. Like she's pinning Rhea's pinning Asuka, and she beat her this week, beat her next week. So it was like, what's really going to be next for Rhea Ripley, or what's really going to be next for Asuka? What's going to be next for Rhea Ripley? Are they going to put in Shayna Baszler? She's gonna go against Rhea Ripley? Or is she gonna take herself away from Nia Jax and go with Rhea Ripley? Are they gonna bring Becky Lynch back? I don't know. Are they gonna bring Io Shirai back? Who knows? But after Backlash WrestleMania, it will not be Asuka, and it will probably not be Charlotte Flair. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Next up, I think that was all the women's stuff. Oh, and Eva Marie did another promo thing. Next up, the tag team division seems like it's good and well. They have the tag team of these new people called I gotta look, Veer and Shanky, which on commentary Byron Saxton called them Skanky, which was hilarious. They're with Jinder Mahal, who had a match with Jeff Hardy on Main Event for his return, but then he came on Monday, was like, I want fresh new matches, and then faces Jeff Hardy again. So that confirms that that's not canon. Main Event isn't canon. It's not a thing. We don't speak of it. And then they had the match, and Jinder Mahal wins cleanly. There was no help from the Skank and Veer. So that's crazy. So they were just there. So I'm assuming they're going to be in the tag team division mix. Uh, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with Jinder Mahal because this is like attempt number like 15. So I wonder if they're going to have him go into the thing with Drew McIntyre right after this, like, because McIntyre is not winning. Like he's not winning. So I wonder if they're gonna get him in the thing with that. Um, is he gonna get in the WWE title picture? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, good for him. Unfortunate for Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Hardy's like, man, I'm a WWE champion like 25 times. I don't care anymore. So it is what it is. But the tag team division seems like it's doing good. They got them. They reintroduced Lucha House Party, which sure. They had an 8-man tag match. New Day and RK Bro versus the tag team champions and Elias and Riker. New Day are with Bro, and they're like pretty much. They was talking to him about the getting registered to be a tag team. It was like, yeah, in a couple of months, we'll be registered or whatever like that. I love that they bring that back. And I also loved in the during the match, Corey Graves is so mad. He was like, this is not a thing. He literally was like, I was a tag team champion. Like, we didn't have to do that. Like, this is not a thing, which is great that they keep putting that in there. And they was talking about like bro nuts and bromatoes to throw at him. Matt Riddle was thinking it was funny about him getting hit in the face with like tomatoes. New Day was kind of like, over that way. And he was like, oh my God, is Lilly behind me? He looks behind him, is Randy. He was like, oh, hey, Randy. Yeah, we just talking about the tomatoes in your face. That was funny that you got hit with tomatoes. And he was like, oh, you think that's funny? He was like, yeah, kind of. He was like, you know what I like? You know what I think is funny? Hurting people, injuring people, setting people on fire. It was so great. He was like, I see you guys out there. So they go to the ring. Oh, and then Jackson Riker and Elias has like a whole bunch of tomatoes, enough for them to throw it at everybody, all of them. And then AJ Styles is like, "What are you guys doing?" He was like, "I got some tomatoes to throw at him." He was like, "Stop it! Just like you're tag team champions." He was like, even though that would, he was like, "Yeah, we gotta get serious." He was like, "I got a song for you." He was like, "Yeah, no songs." Even though I like your music, no songs. You like the goatee? Nice. We're just gonna beat them up. He takes a nice big tomato and he smushes it and stuff like that. I like the fact that Randy Orton was like doing his entrance, and then Matt Riddle was just out there. He was like doing dances, like he was doing stuff. He was like trying to pop him, and then like Randy Orton just tried to have a straight face. And then New Day comes out there, and then they're trying to pop Randy Orton, and he's just like, oh my God, why do I do this to myself? I think that was all great. The match itself was fine. I didn't hate it. I liked Randy. After the match, Randy Orton, his team won. He RKO's Jackson Riker, I think it was, for the win. Omos was coming in. He was about to do something to Randy. Well, he was beating up everybody, and then he gets out the ring. I think Omos was looking for Randy Orton, and then it turns out, and then like the New Day are like wishboning, spinning AJ around, like, and it almost is like, oh my God, do I get paid enough for this? And he went out there, and as soon as he left, RKO, he wins. And then everybody's trying to celebrate with Randy, and then Randy just RKO's Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Doesn't RKO Matt Riddle? And Matt Riddle's like, man, we're supposed to have friends. You out here RKOing people. And then he just leaves, and then Matt Riddle's like, yeah, it is what it is. So I'm assuming that they're going to do RK Bro versus Matt Riddle. Versus New Day. And I'm assuming they're going to be like, Riddle's going to tell him, it's like, hey, I like you, you cool and all, but we don't need to make friends. We need to win matches and become, tag team champions. I'm pretty sure that's their ultimate goal. So it's like, so this friend stuff, like, you got to cut it out. And I'm pretty sure New Day is going to get mad at Riddle. Riddle's going to be like, hey, it is what it is. And then they're going to get mad, and they're going to have a match. RK Bro is going to win, and then they're going to probably face off against Omos and them for the titles and win eventually, probably at SummerSlam. So that's all good stuff. Good stuff for the tag team division. Very happy that they're really honing in on the tag team division, and they still got T-Bar and Mace somewhere doing something somewhere. And then finally, the main event. It was what it was. They announced Drew and Bobby from last week. You knew it was coming. Braun Strowman beat McIntyre 2 weeks ago, and then Bobby Lashley beat Braun Strowman last week, and now they did Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, and it's like, obviously Drew's gonna win by disqualification. We knew that too, but it makes sense because, of course, you don't want your champion losing any matches, so losing via disqualification is something that's not bad, and you saw it coming because literally they were like, MVP had a thing with Braun Strowman in his locker room, which wasn't his locker room. They just planted that on there. It was even that I don't believe it's like Braun Strowman has a locker room and Randy Orton doesn't. Like, stop it. But MVP pretty much said to him, he was like, "Hey," and I do like the fact that there was like, "Hey, Drew screwed you last week. You should have won. You should have beat me, but Drew screwed you. And hey, you help me help you. We're having a match. You help us. If we lose anything, we much rather lose it to you. You're big, you're strong, you're powerful." And he says, you take out Drew McIntyre 1-on-1, Braun Strowman versus the Almighty. And I like the fact that they keep doing the Bobby Lashley was United States champion, and the only reason why he lost was because he got pinned. So like, say Drew McIntyre doesn't pin, say Drew McIntyre pins Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman gets screwed or something like that. He was like, "Hey, keep it 1-on-1," and then Drew McIntyre's like, "Man, I don't even care. It is what it is." And then they had the match, which again, obviously, good match because because Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre don't have bad matches together. It's just the thing. They don't have bad matches together. Cedric and anybody don't have bad matches together. Cesaro and Seth Rollins don't have bad matches together. You just don't have bad matches together. It's just what it is. And in the end, Drew McIntyre hits a Claymore. This was very fast. Drew tried to Claymore right in the beginning, and he tried to Hurt Lock right in the beginning. Domination from Bobby Lashley to like the middle, belly to belly suplexes for everybody. He was sort of like Brock Lesnar's up out here, and he MVP did like the distraction thing. He tried to do the distraction thing, but didn't work this time. Boom, spine buster, Claymore, Braun. His music hit, and then for some reason, every time somebody's music hits, everybody gets like, "No, cover my man's." Didn't do that, and then from behind, boom, McIntyre gets taken out by Braun, running power slam. Braun wins, or Drew wins via disqualification, and then Bobby Lashley was, "Yeah, my man, yeah." Give him some hug, and then Braun was like, "Nah, man, power slam to you too." And then he hits another one to Drew McIntyre, and then he takes Bobby Lashley, boom, power slam through the barricade, another power slam to Drew McIntyre. "Braun, I'm nobody's puppet. I'm smart." And that's how the show ends. And it's very basic storytelling that you knew was going to happen from 3 weeks out, but at least they didn't do nothing completely ridiculous. So that was the show. Overall, I'd give this show an 8 out of 10. I like the format of the show. If you keep doing this format, like you noticed that I didn't say, besides the Sheamus one, there was no in-ring segments, there was no Miz TV, there was no Charlotte promo, there was no Drew McIntyre long speech followed by a backstage long speech. This was just very basic. We start with the match. We do a couple of promos, backstage promos, get some segments and some storylines going, go back to some wrestling. And there was a longer match than like 8 to 10 minutes during the show a couple of times. So that was good. That's a good thing in my book. Hopefully, Raw after WrestleMania Backlash, they get some things going, some fresh storylines, and they continue this format. If they do that, Raw would be very, very good thing to. I think it would be a great thing to watch. Interested to see really what's going to be next for a lot of the things. What's going to happen after Bobby Lashley after he retains, because he's retaining. Are they going to go back to Braun Strowman? And are they going to go to Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley? Are they going to do Money in the Bank? Are they going to put Jinder in it? Jinder in it. Um, Same thing for the women's. Are they going to have people call up for Rhea Ripley? I don't think Charlotte is going to win. She's going to do her thing with Asuka. She might not get pinned, so she might have a claim that she gets her one-on-one, and maybe that Money in the Bank, maybe that's where Alexa and Lilly do the thing, and then they'll bring somebody up for Rhea at SummerSlam. Maybe they could do that. Will they bring Asuka to SmackDown? Start her fresh on SmackDown. Will they bring somebody for the tag team to help her in the tag team division? I don't know. It'll be interesting. Well, it'll be really interesting to see what happens at the Backlash WrestleMania thing with Jinder. So hopefully they continue this. Solid show. Nothing completely horrible that happened. So what did you guys think? Did you like the show? Did you think it's good stuff? Let me know. See you guys in the next one. I'm out.